Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus channel. When an aircraft is retired, it's kept in a place known as an aircraft boneyard. The aircraft stored in boneyards are either kept in storage for maintenance or the parts are removed for reuse and resale, and the aircraft is scrapped. Boneyard facilities are typically located in deserts, mainly due to the fact that dry conditions reduce corrosion and the hard ground does not need to be paved. Most of the U.S. military's retired planes are moved to the Boneyard in Tucson, Arizona. The Boneyard is part of the 309th Airspace Maintenance and Regeneration Group at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. It's where the U.S. agencies such as NASA, the U.S. Navy, and the U.S. Air Force move their decommissioned planes to be taken apart. The Boneyard is spread across 2,600 acres of land, covered with almost 5,000 retired aircraft and other equipment. The Boneyard has nearly 550 civilian and military personnel who work hard to preserve the aircraft worth millions of dollars. Almost 400 aircraft are brought to the Boneyard every year. Almost the same number of aircraft return to active service either as remotely controlled drones or are sold to friendly foreign governments. The plane that goes to a Boneyard has flown several hours of flight for the U.S. military. Before sending it to the Boneyard, the aircraft gets an official send-off in a retirement ceremony. The event is traditionally organized at the runway at various airports and air bases, depending on the last operational home of the aircraft. Additionally, the other planes present at the event are stationed on both sides of the runway, along with air crew and maintainers to pay their last respects by giving a salute of honor, which lasts through the aircraft's entire takeoff from the runway. The plane flies in the air for one last time, while the teams involved in the ceremony celebrate. The planes that are bound to get scrapped are invaluable. Not only are the components of the plane scrapped, but also the frame and structure are entirely cut into pieces. The steel and aluminum inside the airplane can sometimes add up to thousands of pounds, which is used for making parts for airplanes under construction. In addition, screws, fasteners, and bolts are also valuable in the market, as do the beams and panels they hold into place. Using hammers, cut-off machines, and even screwdrivers, a team of scrappers spend hours a day taking apart different sections of the aircraft. Once they scrap a section of the aircraft, the forklifts and trucks come in to haul the pieces away. Due to a dry climate, preserving the planes is very critical. However, it isn't as easy as it sounds. Initially, the ejection seats along with some other hardware are removed. The planes are then thoroughly washed with water to remove any particles that might cause corrosion. After draining the fuel system, the aircraft is finally sealed using a special plastic spray compound. This two-coat system keeps the aircraft and its components completely safe and extends their life. Known as the spray lat, this protective coating is applied on the plane to the entire exterior of the aircraft. The first layer is black, which seals the aircraft from dust, wind, and other corrosive elements, whereas the second and white layer reflects the sun and reduces the chances of plane components warping or melting due to the heat. Depending on the demands of the military, an aircraft or a whole squadron of aircraft may be put back into service. However, they must be reconditioned and tested to make them airworthy. The reconditioning process includes putting in new avionics, electronics, safety measures, and testing. Reconditioning old aircraft is a cheaper way of getting more aircraft into service than buying new ones, which saves the United States billions of dollars annually.
You know, entire production runs of aircraft were brought here for reclamation, like F-84s, B-36s, whereas others were brought here for storage and regeneration.
The United States has a different plan for fighter jets like F-16s and the Boneyards. The purpose is to develop a network of drone wingmen and a fleet of at least 1,000 collaborative combat aircraft, which will use autonomous capabilities to fly alongside next-generation fighters like F-35s. In the past, the F-16s used to be converted into target drones so that the pilots could shoot live missiles at them. However, these aircraft are now converted into drones to perform electronic warfare operations, carry missiles, and fly ahead of other aircraft in combat so that their sensors can provide intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. After an aircraft is regenerated, various functional tests are performed to determine whether its autonomous capability is up to par. Without trusted autonomy, the aircraft would just be a brainless bird in the sky, which is why human pilots sometimes take off with the jets, but allow the software to take over mid-air to determine whether it works and provides the expected benefits. In addition to airplanes, decommissioned helicopters are also moved to the boneyards. For instance, on May 6, 2022, The U.S. transported the Soviet-designed Russian Mi-17 helicopter to the Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, Arizona, via a cargo plane. The helicopter was towed from the hangar towards the aircraft and dragged inside the cargo compartment using cables. Once landed at the Air Force Base, the helicopter was dragged out of the aircraft the same way it was pushed inside. There are numerous possibilities of aircraft crashing on the runway or midair. However, the crash would hurt the taxpayers' money, much less if the maintenance crew recovered the aircraft without damaging it. Therefore, the United States military provides one-of-a-kind training courses to personnel at the Boneyard in Tucson, Arizona. The maintenance crews learn how to recover an aircraft without causing further damage by lifting and dragging out-of-service heavy aircraft and fighter jets. During such an exercise, the crew positions and inflates airbags, sets up a sling system, crane lifts the fighter, and collects hazardous wreckage. Almost 51 government employees from 28 states gathered at the Crash Damaged Disabled Aircraft Recovery Training conducted at the Davis-Monthan Boneyard. During this training, the personnel demonstrated how to wear protective gear while recovering the aircraft and use the necessary tools to remove the wreckage rapidly. Any evidence that could help determine the cause of the accident is carefully preserved while removing the wreckage. The primary objective of the CDDAR program is to return any runway involved in a mishap to operational status as soon as possible. On May 22, 2016, maintainers from the 177th Wing's CDDAR team trained at the Naval Air Station Wildwood Aviation Museum in Cape May. Unit members with unique fields of expertise collaborated to complete the training using compressors, gauged manifolds, hoses, and pneumatic bags to simulate lifting an F-16D Fighting Falcon with a failed landing gear. The CDDAR training at Hickam Airfield is extraordinary. If an aircraft is disabled upon landing, a team of airmen would immediately respond to clear the runway and reopen the airfield. The regeneration and preservation of aircraft at the Boneyard are vital. By restoring older models and integrating modern technology, the U.S. military ensures a sustainable aviation legacy. This commitment not only enhances operational capabilities, but also supports innovation, ultimately shaping the future of aerospace. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.